Growing up with Prader Willi, my story. I didn't start gaining weight until age 4, and to then I didn't want to eat and was uninterested in food. I was uninterested in breastfeeding and would cry at night, but still didn't want to nurse. I started to outgrow regular sized clothing around 4 or 5 years old, which is when my grandmother began making clothes for me due to clothing not fitting me. When in school during the early years, I would take other kids' lunches and get in trouble for eating them. At the grocery store, when my mother's back was turned, I would take food that my mother was not planning on buying. Finding a way into the snack cabinet and hiding food happened often when growing up. I found many ways to access the food even when the drawers were locked. In grammar school and high school, I was aware that stealing food was wrong. I then had an allowance and would purchase extra food on top of my lunch. Growing up with Prader Willi, my story continued. I was tested for Prader Willi when I was a young adult, so during my younger years, I didn't have an understanding about what was happening to me. It was frustrating for me and for my family. After getting tested, I found out that I had 3 of the genes and not not 2 or 1. I received 2 from my mother and 1 from my father, which has put me on the mild side of the scale as far as Prader Willi goes. I noticed that I was different than my peers in middle school and in high school, because by this time I was overweight. I was constantly getting in trouble in school because I reacted to people making fun of me, which happened all the time. I got sent to detention often because I had a hard time taking criticism from my teachers, which caused me to react negatively. I got into fights with my peers because I was made fun of because of my weight and because I had a hard time spelling and doing math. I really hated going to school and dealt with depression and anxiety. Overall, school was rough at times, but I got through it and graduated. There are days when I am depressed about my diagnosis. I am always going to face different challenges that other people don't, such as the above. Whatever programs are set in place, there will always be changes. I am constantly having to work on issues that arise within them, as well as trying to mold my life around new programs that are put into place, with the help and support of the rest of my team. Despite these challenges, I enjoy life in other ways. I enjoy my friends, and I am very social. I feel lucky to have a supportive family and friends. I have many hobbies and like to work on small engine repair. I love to decorate, especially on the holidays. One thing that brings me to great joy is playing Santa Claus at Christmas time and the Easter Bunny at Easter, because it makes other people smile and makes them happy in return. It makes me happy. This is something I have always enjoyed. It brings out the kid out in everyone, and it gets everyone in the spirit as well as myself.